Now, our Kenyan socialite Shakilla is making headlines again. She's been very quiet and she talked about how she's, struggling with the appearances on social media and having to be this person that people perceive her as. It's just been a lot for Shakilla, who will forever be 19 years old. We're not judging you, girl. You provide us content, elite content, and we're here for it and we support you. However, she had branded herself the queen of the streets, and it looks like she's rethinking the title because she is calling out the guys in her DMs. She says that all of my followers, no one wants to enter into a serious relationship with me. Was I meant to be for the streets for life? Okay, listen, over 300,000 followers. Everyone who is coming to the DMs just wants fun times. No one is looking to put a ring on her finger. But that might be a bit premature because remember, girl, you are all of 19 years old, okay? This is not the time for you to settle down, okay? Cruise the streets, get a Jeep, get different cars to just be cruising in the streets. And then after that, after you've got all the experience that you need, you can now think about marriage, okay? So baby girl, relax. Take it easy. Go have fun times. However, we have somebody who has decided to rescue Shakilla, which is Costarian musician who goes by the name Be Classic. Is it Be Classic, yeah?
God.
And he comes to her rescue and he says, I will rescue her. However, I have a condition. And this is what he said. Shakilla, I have seen you want to leave the streets. See, the thing is, I am also in the market and I can take you in and give you a good life. Wow. But are you willing to change? He asks. I'll cater for everything as long as I see you becoming a church girl, which is also, he's not the best you can do, Shakilla. You can do much, much better. As in, this girl was on Tory Lane's podcast, and when he was doing those quarantine things.
Yeah, quarantine radio.
Yeah, she won all of $3,000. So all I'm saying is, Shakilla, you have the potential to be the Alexis Guy of Kenya. This is not the time for you to be settling down with some Costarian musician. Can you do you? You've already established the brand, queen of the streets, okay? So do your thing, and then when you're maybe Mbaya stage, you can now transform your brand and become something different. But for now, we don't want to see you get married. Okay, you're too young for that. You still owe us content. So Be Classic. Or is it like Kiki for a new song he's doing?
I think so.
Probably, okay?
So. I think so.
If it's Kiki, good for you guys. That is phenomenal content. But if it's not, girl, you could do better, okay? Leave him.
You can
Don't do that.
better. But ultimately, I think let's talk about this narrative that you're always giving people in your 20s, and let's be all the way honest. Truly, truly, honestly. Most people who are settling down in their mid-20s towards their 30s, who are they dating? Is it a man they met outside the road? No. Is it a man that they knew when they were earlier in their 20s and they weren't ready to settle yet? And now they've gotten to a point where they have cumulatively, collectively called themselves to a kamukunji and have decided it's time for me to probably settle down. It's time for me to probably get into a serious relationship. So what am I trying to say? Yes, it's good to experiment. Yes, it's good to try things out here. But don't forget, there's still women who are beautiful, who are still on the internet complaining and asking where their Prince Charming is, where their Oga Richman is, where this financial aid is coming from now that this is how they've lived their whole lives. Now they're settling down and there's no one to settle down with. You go to the club and all you see a young boy is telling you, babe, you want to be you want to be my sugar mama? I can be your Ben 10. And I see you in my DMs. Let me ask you, do I look like your mother? Seriously, can you people stop? I think in general, maybe Shakilla has the right idea, maybe just not the right combination of ingredients in her recipe book. But she really should be trying to settle down now. I mean, she's been for the streets for a minute. So the value of street cred pia inaenanga kipungua. So tafuta mtu mwenye atakuja pia upatie nini Virginia a little bit of rest. You know what I mean? Like, she also needs to calm down. Do you know what I mean? Eh? Anyway, these are just my sentiments. I don't know about you. I think B Classic is probably just creating Kiki for his new song, which is really cool. Because remember where B Classic has come from? Didn't we have him here for the first time on his show, and he gave us his whole life story, and it was so sad, and he was seeming like, oh yeah, it's catching up. And now look at him. He's creating Kiki and content with such people like Shakilla. Congratulations to you, Be Classic. You're doing well. However, Kenyans, let's also be a little bit more original when it comes to Kiki. Like, look at what Hollywood is doing. Look at the orchestrations. Look at the number of people who are put together in order to create a piece of clout, and how long it takes to actually live through this clout. People go as far as to get married just to maintain a narrative, just to keep this clout moving. People leak their own, bad things online to create and propagate all of these things. All I'm saying is commit to the act. If you're going to act, commit to it. Don't be out here releasing your song next week and then you've broken up next week, but we're tired, okay?